Oh, Carmela.
Carmela beat you to it.
Whoa. I'm like, I told you, I started watching half of it, so I'm like leaving it up on my computer so I can pick up where I left off. It was handy, so I'll save you the trouble, Jameson.
Thank you. Well, we are actually going to screen share from your gym's Instagram today as well, so we'll see. Whoa.
Say what? I don't think I get permission for that.
Oh man! All right, folks. Keith Knapp in the house. All right, folks. We will. Let's hop in. Okay, guys. Please ask questions as we go. Call is being recorded now, so you'll have this for later as well. But yeah, ask questions as we go. Put them in the chat. We'll get to them as we work through this. If it makes sense to stop and answer the question right then, we will, or we'll get to it at the end. I'm going to take you guys through a couple of updates, kind of in highlights, and then Ben will take you guys through programming, and then we'll chat at the end about whatever is really on your all's mind. So getting into it, we just finished up the Endure, we just finished up the Endure strength cycle, starting the Fortify strength cycle this week. You guys should have access to that full breakdown of the Fortify strength cycle. Ben will talk in more detail about the Fortify strength cycle. We just finished in testing the Fortify strength cycle, we're finishing this week the testing of the Fortify strength cycle. And so we did our 3-rep test of bench press on Monday and our 3-rep test of deadlift yesterday in the gym in testing, and we had 56 PRs for 3 reps. So I'm excited to see how that goes for you guys. We had I thought I would share with you guys because you'll understand the pain point as gym owners and coaches. I had to stop people from trying to PR their 1-rep deadlift because they were hitting their 3-rep at what their previous 1-rep was. So they were like, can I test my 1-rep too? Like, no, that's not how this works. But I didn't catch everybody, and we did have one guy just go ahead and test his 1-rep as well yesterday in class. But we had 56 PRs out of the bench and the deadlift. So always keep us updated as you guys have those kind of results for your gym. We want to know not just how the programming is working, but give you guys shout outs and call those things out as well. So I'm excited to see how Fortify goes for you guys. Another thing that is coming in December is a lesson plan, just like you guys have the lesson plan and the timeline for the daily training. You guys will now have that for the competitors version of the workout that we are providing as well. It's very similar to what we provide in the app for individuals, and you guys obviously get the competitors version of that workout right now for those of you that like to integrate that, but the feedback has been the need for that to be more integrated into the operations of your class and the assets and resources for that. So that is going to roll out in December, and I'll just keep you guys updated on that process. It's going to look a bit different based on what platform you follow on, if you're on the web platform versus a partner platform like Push Press and such. So it's a lot for us to figure out in terms of how to deliver that. So yeah, communicate with us back and forth on that as well. The 2026 roadmap is a PDF document that talks through training blocks, strength cycles, benchmarks, which will be repeats of this year. But benchmarks, even events and stuff on our calendar that we'll have going on, that's going to hit you guys also in December. We're going to put that together throughout the month of November, finalize it, and then hit you guys with that after Thanksgiving. So sometime end of November, beginning of December, you guys will have a full view on the 2026 calendar for programming, for events and things along those lines. As far as events are concerned, we are going to be at High Rock Chicago. Cole will be competing. A few of us will also be racing, and we'll be there all weekend. So if you guys are around Chicago, or if you guys know people that are around and would want to hang out, we are actually planning to also hang out at Carmela's gym, which is there near the venue, and we'll run a class and just hang out with anybody who wants to come and gather together for that. So keep that in mind if you happen to be around or want to travel to or are near to Chicago as well. And then, as been said, Carmela already shared it. The mini doc came out for an event we just finished up, and it was a ton of fun. It was a great experience and something that we're already really excited about for next year. So if you guys want to check that out and put it on your calendar to participate with us next year, the link to pre-register for that is in that description for the video as well. Cool. I wasn't joking. I do want to share in terms of highlights, this first piece here, using assets to promote your gym. If you guys are in the circle group, there is a space called like marketing kit. And while that's not like the bread and butter or the forte of what we provide in terms of the main product being programming and lesson plans and such, we do want to continually equip you guys with assets and resources and education on how to talk about what complete training is and maybe what differentiates you in terms of following the complete training system as a gym. And so I just wanted to share this just briefly. Obviously, you guys get access to kind of PDF resources and such as it relates to the strength cycles. And I wanted to show you how Carmela chose to implement that in terms of the promotion of her gym. So she took that document and she distilled it into a carousel to communicate and promote to her community and to people around how she is focused on or how they are following the Fortify strength cycle. So she just took the assets and put this into her own format in terms of how to best communicate this to her community. And you guys are encouraged to do this. I mean, you take the assets, take the resources, take the information and repurpose it however best serves you guys. And so I just noticed that she posted this and wanted to bring attention to it. So I think this is a huge way for you guys to leverage the uniqueness of what you're offering as a gym. And while I'm here, I am also just going to move over to my gym's Instagram and show you guys this. You have access to the editable Canva file that has this information. You can take it, you can delete my logos from it, you can put your logos in it. You can change whatever text that you want to change or need to change, but this exists in that marketing kit for you guys to take and repurpose in whatever way works best for you guys. So just wanted to bring attention to that you have assets like this inside of that circle group, and you're encouraged to take it and use it however best serves you guys. We want it to be a benefit to your gym, and we want to help equip you with like how to talk about the unique selling points of what you do by following complete training. So keep that in mind. And just kind of continue to follow that marketing kit folder, and we'll continue to drop stuff in there as we are able to. Other highlights, and Ben will get into these, is Fortify Strength Cycle starts now, and it will build to the testing of heavy threes. So by the end of the year, you guys will have tested heavy fives, heavy tens, heavy singles, heavy threes. You will have gotten a really good opportunity for your members to get tons of data and information on all of our primary strength lists. Then your October benchmarks. Sorry, I should say October and November. Your November benchmarks are Achu and Chad, and Ben can talk a little bit more about those things. If you guys have questions about any of that, drop it in the chat, but that's enough talking for me, so I will hand that off to Ben.
No, you killed it, Jameson. Well done. Nice job, Carmela. Really, really nice. I think that one of the, I think about building a brand inside of an affiliate or otherwise, whatever company you're trying to build. One of the things I use as a litmus test for myself is, can our members say what we want them to say? Not can we say the right things to our members. Can our members say the right things to non-members? That's when you know you've built a brand. So people that that talk about Amazon, they're like, oh, dude, it's amazing. Like, you can get same day delivery and it's the cheapest thing on the internet. Very well branded, right? Very simple. That's what they want you to say. So they're making it so easy for you to transfer that brand message. What Carmela did there is exactly that, right? You're empowering your members to not only understand it themselves, but be able to share it beyond. So super well done. And as you know, we're trying to do, and Jameson's doing a great job of this, is share with you the assets that we're building along the way that you guys can then go and share with other people as well. So please take advantage of those. Keith also said, there's plenty of ways you can hack it. Just put stuff into ChatGPT and ask it to simplify, put in some brand messaging and spit it back out in a carousel. Okay. The nuts and bolts stuff of what we do. The benchmarks we have coming up, for people that remember doing this last year, this first one's a burner. a big time burner. So the way this goes is essentially, it starts off with a complex that we used to call Macho Man, for people who have been around the CrossFit space for a long time. Macho Man went viral and famous because we had 10 games athletes doing it here, and we filmed it straight through and launched it. And it was just super cool. So it was Matt Fraser, Michelle LaChandra, Brooke Entz, Easy Mohammed, Katrin David's daughter, Connor Nugent, big super strong guy, Spencer, somebody. Anyway, it was awesome. We took that format of this barbell complex, and then instead of resting, it's how your score is actually how much can you move lateral burpees over the bar. So the idea is your athletes should be choosing a weight when you're briefing this to them. The way this goes, you should be choosing a weight that most likely you're going to be doing the power cleans as single, drop, pick it up, and then you don't drop it. Power clean, 3 front squats into 3 overheads. If they can't go in that sequence, the weight's too heavy, and they're not going to get they just won't even get a score out of it because they're going to have to take time off inside the minute. It's supposed to be very cyclical. If you have athletes doing this and they've never done it before, the cue is to go lighter than heavier. If they're between 2 weights, which happens all the time, right? Someone's like, hey, like I think that, 95 will be too light. I think 115 is too heavy. What do you think I should do, coach? The answer is 95. Like go with the lighter weight on this one. It's supposed to be move, not grind. This is a VO2 max workout. 95-65 is the weight. I should call this out. We already brought this weight down from last time we did this last year. So last time we did this last year was 135, and we found out it was too heavy. So we wanted to make this more of a VO2 max, not a grind. So this is not a measurable from last year. And that's just like, we're going to learn as we go, right? We're going to make mistakes along the way. So we want this to be very cyclical, just like be able to fly through the barbell. So you can really kind of rip out the burpees as we go. 10 minutes is the high end of VO2 max. Anyone who's done VO2 max knows that those are the ones that kind of can hurt a lot. And this is on the high end of that. So this is one of those guys. We paired this month with the kind of the extreme opposite, right? Which is Chad. Chad is for Chad Wilkerson. It's a hero workout, Navy SEAL who ended up taking his own life due to PTSD after serving for us in special forces overseas. His wife was on level 1 seminar staff. This is now a hero workout in the CrossFit space. Couldn't be simpler, couldn't be more challenging. It's done on Veterans Day. As a Veterans Day, really in the CrossFit space, there's only 2 workouts that are done on specific days. Murph and Chad. Everything else is constantly varied. We kind of have jumped on board with that as well. Idea behind here is the way we do this, everyone's free to kind of do it the way they want to. Because it's so long, we do this as open gym. Jameson, do you guys do the same?
Yeah, yes. In theory, class schedule changes entirely.
Yeah, so what we do, because the workout, almost no one can do this workout under an hour, particularly if they're doing it the way it's designed, which is kind of heavier weight. It takes most people about an hour and 20 minutes-ish. So the way we do this is we have open gym and we have coaches on the floor supporting people the whole day, but they kind of come in and start where they want to as they go. One of the things that I encourage people to do is to do 25 step-ups, alternating legs every time. They bring in their own backpack, so we're not responsible for that, but they can use our weights to load them up. A towel and some dumbbells is a great way to do that. And the way we do that is they do 25 steps, and then they move to the other side, and 25 steps, and they move to the other side, 25 steps. So they're going around the box. It helps them keep track of where they are. So every loop around the box is 100, and they do 10 loops around the box. That one is it's such a great, I actually think it's a really great workout that we kind of need in the space. People like Carmela and Keith, who just did the 100-mile, the endurance race with us. It's a part of fitness, is being able to do this like long, slowy slog stuff. So just recognize though that the people that do this, it is really challenging. If you've never done it yourself, it's really hard. It's really hard mentally as well. And people are going to be really sore for the next few days after this. Encourage them to still come into the gym, but no scores. Like just come in and move. If the reason we keep doing we don't do that just for everybody, is because not everyone does this. So that don't do this shouldn't come in, just move. They're only coming in twice a week. Those workouts should be impactful and challenging. But for the people that have done Chad, allow them 3 days to kind of just like reset. It'll help a ton. Jameson, anything else to add on to
particularly for Chad, that the lesson plans that day will have a link to other suggested hero workouts that can be done in the 60-minute class structure. So if you guys do opt for the 60-minute classes, you don't want to change your schedule. There's some suggestions for how to kind of even do Chad in the 60-minute window in kind of its own unique way. Just being aware that it's not going to be the same test, obviously. But if you guys are maintaining that class schedule, it doesn't make sense for you, then there's a link to a list of other suggested hero workouts for that day.
Keith says, yeah, unless you do this as the first workout of a 24-hour hero workout in 24 hours, right, Jameson?
Yeah, you should PR it at that point.
That's right.
Fast as you can.
Do what we say, not what we do.
Oh man. Anyways.
All right. James, it's super cool to hear about the success you guys had with the PRs coming out of Fortify. For you guys to know, my gym, we used to be in line with Jameson. We're now in line with you guys. So we're doing things real time. It was a way for me to understand where you guys are. I thought that was really important. So CompTrain beep test. So good, right? Yes. Hopefully you guys did that 2 days ago. It was phenomenal. I thought it was better than the Bergeron beep test. Is such a great workout. And then we have this Fortify. So as Jameson said, we came out of the Endure strength cycle. The idea behind this one is this is 3 2-week phases is what Fortify is. The first 2 week, and I think one of the reasons that we're seeing a lot of success out of Jameson's gym, and hopefully for everybody, is the first 2 weeks are really kind of priming. They're slow tempo. So people get to kind of it's not crazy heavy. The weights are around that 60% number, which everyone knows is not crazy heavy. But each set is upwards of 30 seconds of time under tension. That's a long time, right? It's slow down, 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3, 6 seconds. At least if there's a second at the bottom, a second at the top, it could be upwards of 8 seconds. 5 reps, that's 30 to 40 seconds per set. Just kind of building that time under tension, getting really good positions. We do that the first week, which we're in right now, with the kind of the normal lifts, if we'll call them that. And then we do it with our alternate lifts the next week. Same thing, tempo, and that's with our strict press, front squat, and sumos. Then we go back to the traditional, and we work on 5s, just straight up heavy 5s. Same thing, first week, our traditional, squat, dead, bench. Then the next week is same thing for 5s, but now it's the alternate, press, front squat, sumo. Then we go to 3s, and we've done a lot of 5s and 3s recently. We did 5s and 3s in indoor as well. And we go to the 5s and 3s, and now we're hitting the 3s. And this is kind of what we're really setting ourselves up for. The end of the year, kind of working to PR our 3s. As Jameson said, if you guys have been following along, we've done 10s, we've done 5s, we've done 3s, and we've done 1s. What's cool is that people are tracking along, they'll see how this goes across the year. They'll not only see their 1s kind of hopefully going up, but the 3s and the 5s and everything else. That's the Fortify. Again, 2 weeks of tempos. The way we like to do the tempos is we have the coach call out the times. So everyone's moving together and everyone's actually getting the 3 seconds. A couple things about that is if you're not going to do that, have their training buddies do it, have somebody calling it out. Otherwise, people go too fast. But what we really like is when the coach does it, but encourage your coaches to be true. Coaches end up doing the opposite and they count too slow, right? And that builds mistrust with the athletes because they're like, dude, this is like taking way longer than 3 seconds. So just really encourage it. Down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. Down is a count, right? If you say down, 1, 2, 3, we're at 4. That's 4 seconds. So it's kind of like a heads up to your coaches about that. Again, tempo 2 weeks, straight up alternative, 5s, straight up alternatives, 3s, straight up alternatives. That brings us into the new year, which is we're going to be releasing the new roadmap for 2026 right after Thanksgiving. I'm really excited about it. I think that you guys that have been here are going to be equally as excited about it. We built out all the strength cycles, so you can see them all ahead of time, and all the benchmarks, so you can see them all ahead of time. You can see the rhyme and the reason to the whole year. It's simpler than this past year. Again, we learn along the way, right? It's simpler, and I think going to be even more effective. Power and simplicity. So it's gonna be even easier to message it to our members, even easier for them to track their progress along the way. So super excited about it. That's the Fortify cycle. James, was there another slide that explained it though? Is that okay? Yeah.
There's more nerd out details about it, but it's in that full document that you guys can get in Circle.
Cool. That's it. Do we have any questions kind of lined up, Jameson, or are we just gonna take them on the fly?
I have one that could take the rest of our time for you to answer. So maybe we'll let anybody drop questions in first.
Well, why don't we do that one so people can ask questions while I'm answering that one?
Cool.
What is it?
Question came in, I think, from Ricardo.
Awesome. Yeah, Ricardo was in Croatia with us.
Oh, was he? Cool.
Yep. It's so cool, by the way, guys. Like Keith, Carmela being in Tennessee at the dirt circuit with us, Ricardo being at Croatia with us, David has been on this call in Croatia with us. We're launching the events as well in that roadmap, and I can't say enough. Like, I would love you guys. It's so cool. Like, I'm crazy. Keith and Carmela are probably like, okay, enough, Ben, because I say this, but I am crazy proud of what we're building. Like, it's because of you guys. And what we just started this in real life thing. We did it somewhat before COVID, and then we just turned it off, and it didn't get turned back on again until we did immersion, which Carmela also came to. That was the first one, and then we did Croatia, and then we did dirt circuit, and now we're in motion again. So love to see you guys at these things. I think it's so, besides like the professional development you get out of being at one of these things, the personal just fulfillment side is pretty amazing. Cool.
Okay, I do have, so the question actually came in very, very similar questions from Ricardo and from Ron Yellen. So I just combined their questions.
Cool.
Does anybody use the Forever Athlete methodology in their gym branding? For CrossFit affiliates who follow CompTrain Gym, how do you articulate that you're a CrossFit gym that doesn't do a lot of the movements that CrossFit is often criticized for, kipping pull-ups, handstand push-ups, snatches, etc.?
Yeah. So first off, I love that we're all using that Forever Athlete terminology. So for us, when we say a Forever Athlete, what we mean by that is somebody that is looking to become well-rounded, someone who is fit, fast, strong, durable, ready to say yes to anything. Also, someone who leads from the front and is looking to do good in the world. That's really when we say that kind of all encompassing that forever athlete. When we say forever athlete, don't just think like someone who is springy and athletic. Think of the captain on the team, right? That person that leads from the front. So it's more than just a physicality. It's a emotional and mental capacity as well. What we want to do is we want to train in a way that is balanced and transferable. So balanced, meaning that we want to be all those things I just listed out, but we want to be strong and we want to be able to go far. Like we want to be able to back squat hundreds and hundreds of pounds. And we also want to be able to run 100 miles, which is some of us did, which is crazy. And everything in between. And we want to be able to say yes to anything. When we were at that event in Tennessee, what I loved is one of the people that was not doing the event, but she is a CompTrain athlete. Somebody came up to her, which I was standing right next to her. And she's one of the people in our community. One of the people that weren't in our community came up to our tent and was like, "What is this? What is CompTrain?" And I just loved her response. She was actually a mom of one of the people running the event, running in the event. And she said, "It's a training program that can get you ready to do anything." I think it just nails it. I really do. It's a training program that gets you ready to do anything. And meaning like if you wanted to run a marathon, it's not going to take you a lot to kind of like be able to spin up and be able to do that. If you want to enter a bodybuilding competition, if you want to be a strongman, if you want to enter a CrossFit competition or a high rocks, I think it gets you ready for do any of those things. The one part that we've kind of like maybe decided to drill into is we realize that people have limited time in the gym, right? People are only going to come into your gym maybe 3, 4, even if they want to come in 5 times a week. That's 3, 4, or 5 hours. What we want them to be doing is doing the most, what we call intentional. Another way to say that is get the biggest bang for their buck, which means it needs to be transferable, which means if we're spending time on things that aren't transferable, it's taking away from spending the time on things that are. Said another way, it's just like this. It's like the law of trade-offs, right? It's not right or wrong. It's just law of trade-offs. We could spend time getting people to get good at running out of track blocks, right? Like every track athlete that's running the 100 meters in high school on up learns to start out of track blocks. It's incredibly important for the sport. If you don't do that, you can't compete. But that doesn't translate to fitness outside of track blocks. That's kind of our take on those movements that the person listed as the high skill CrossFit movements. They're cool. If you're a track athlete, learning to run out of track blocks is really cool. But it takes a lot of time out of the practice to be able to do that. Similar is learning things like rings. When you're learning the false grip on rings, that translates to rings. It doesn't go outside of that. It doesn't make you better at it. So what we'd say is instead of spending the 10, 20, 30 minutes a month on learning that, it's better for us to just do some lunges, do some push-ups, do some overhead presses, do some burpees, do box jumps, get on a bike, get on a rower, run, like get fit. That's the idea. It's not that it's one of these right or wrong things, because if you want to compete in the sport of CrossFit, I want you to spend time learning how to do that. It's just that's what we realize is that's not the majority of the people that come into our gym. You know, it might be the 15%, but it's certainly not the 80%. And what we want to do is create a product market fit. You know, it's like the 101 of running a business is making sure that your product matches the market. If you're like, whoa, my gym is like 80% competitors. Like we have 3 teams that are, like we used to be. right? Like Mayhem probably is, or Invictus, like 3 teams that are trying to compete with each other to go to the quarterfinals, the semifinals. It's like, yeah, then I get it. Like CompTrain's not the program for those gyms. It's not. CompTrain's the program for the gyms that want to get people to be stronger, have bigger engines, and move better. Be able to do these things outside of the walls of the gym better. So that's a really long answer. The shorter answer is we want to get you to lift heavy, go fast, go far, and do it pain-free. That's it. That's what we're shooting for. Well-rounded. Fit, far, fast, and free. Fit, fast, far, and free. That's what we're shooting for. Thank you, Jameson. Cool.
Cool.
I just share really quick because yesterday I had someone drop into our gym and they're trialing out and also going to be doing High Rock Chicago. And she's like, so how's your High Rocks training going? Because mine's just like crushing my body. I was like, well, I'm not really doing any High Rocks, but what I'm doing here is getting me ready for that. So it'll be cool to be able to test it out because there's 4 of us from our gym that are going to be competing throughout the weekend. And none of us are doing anything different. We are literally just following CompTrain. So it really will be a true test to see like it gets us ready for anything.
That's really cool. Yeah, we had 3 people from our gym qualify for Worlds doing 0 CrossFit stuff. I mean, 0 High Rock stuff. And it's because like if you show up on Thursdays at our gym, like you guys know what Thursdays are like. You're just training. It's High Rocks, right? Whole bunch of farmers carries, a whole bunch of rowing, a whole bunch of running. It's just like it's threshold Thursdays. So Neil just say it's worth just saying this out loud again because we've kind of like set up our weeks, and you guys should know this, but we have like muscle building Mondays, right? It's a little bit more bodybuilding usually. Sometimes we change things around. Like this week we had to change it around a little bit because of the Bergeron beep test. But generally speaking, Mondays are centered around the bench press, and the Metcons are like muscular endurance, a little more bodybuilding-esque, right? Which you guys have seen more like bent over rows and stuff like that, purposely slowing things down a little bit. We have Target Tuesdays. Target Tuesdays are targeting an aerobic piece, usually VO2 max. We're also in the works of bringing in more focused stability work into Tuesdays, which we're testing right now in our gym, which you guys will see. Awesome, amazing progression. Super excited about it. So we have muscle building Mondays, Target Tuesdays. We have well-rounded Wednesdays. Well-rounded Wednesdays are where we see kind of like the mixed modal stuff, very CrossFit-esque type movements, right? Usually it's like the 3 modalities, cardio, body weight, and weightlifting all kind of mixed together. Threshold Thursdays, usually 30 to 40 minutes, our lactic threshold. Forever Athlete Fridays is when we do our plyometrics. We do strength, usually a squat, and a high power, shorter workout. And we have big sweaty Saturdays. The like 20, 30 minutes, usually teams for the gyms, and Sunday run day. So it's very intentional. We're trying to get every aspect of fitness rather than random and just hope that we kind of captured all of them. There are different aspects to this fitness thing. Everything from explosive power to absolute strength to muscular endurance to VO2 max, lactic threshold, cardiovascular endurance, and so on. We need to make sure we're getting each of those the appropriate amounts of frequencies each week. So it's a little less than kind of just like we'll put some workouts up. Maybe we have a whole bunch of AMRAP 20s and we're not sure what those are supposed to be targeting. We're really trying to set up the day to be a little more, the weeks, so that every day is really structured.
Yeah, I would say on top of that, guys, in terms of utilizing methodology to promote your product, if you're particularly leaning into this idea of performance and longevity, statistically, the things that we are finding out more and more is 2 primary drivers of that that are correlatives and even causal to longevity, better and longer lives, is muscle mass and VO2 max. And so you can lean into like, well, we train those particular things on these particular days. And so the Monday, Wednesday, Friday structure of being able to say we lift on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays has been a very helpful thing for us as well, because we do have we're continuing to have more and more members who like to do other fitness stuff too, but want to pair it with absolute strength development inside the gym. So they prioritize attending on those days in particular. So there's a huge reason to lean in to the fact that a unique selling point for you following this program is the structure of the program, and you can use that to promote that to your communities. Couple of questions about Muscle Monday. In another call, we spoke about this, that some members come in for 2 days and we don't want them to only get the bench press and muscle day. So there would be some changes every period or something like that. What Ben is talking about now is not in that line, is it? So the variance of that weekly structure.
Yeah, there's very little variance.
Yeah.
Yeah, on purpose. And I realize that that's weird, especially from where people are coming from. But if you commit to this, it becomes not. I'm just telling you, after Jameson, you probably feel the same. But after other people can probably speak to this as well. After doing this for years, it's very not weird. It actually feels really weird now when we do the opposite. Like this week was the opposite because of. And there is going to always be some variance because benchmarks come in and you have to work the week around the benchmark. But it's when they're not the week that people now get more thrown for a loop than the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah, the variance is not so much in the structure as much as in the details of the structure, because it is certainly not the case that Muscle Mass Monday is always bench press and some form of hypertrophy with horizontal pushing. Muscle Mass Monday could be a squat along with more hypertrophy focused squatting. But the structure of Muscle Mass Mondays is what would be maintained, with the kind of the details of what's being trained within that structure would vary a bit. Same from Dennis as well. The A and B versions, that's what we talked about at the beginning, which is by December, you guys will get essentially what you're referring to as A and B is the compete version and the complete version. Right now, you get the complete workout with the lesson plan and the timeline and all of that, but then all that you get is bolted on the competitors or the compete version of that workout. You will begin receiving a full lesson plan and timeline of both versions beginning in December. There are people doing mesh workouts. Nice. Cool. Aminta, you should unmute and say your name for us so we say it properly moving forward.
Awesome. My name is Aminta. I'm from Portland, Oregon.
Cool.
And I'd love to say that I just joined at the beginning of the Endure cycle and I'm pumped. I've been looking for this kind of programming. I kind of grew up in CrossFit, but my clients are not in that realm. And to be able to present them with something that they can do that is making their lives better. What I've found with the consistent schedule, people are changing when they work out.
That's right. That's
so that they can prioritize the strength work that a lot of them need. And then we do an open gym format on Sundays so they can pick a workout that they've missed. So if they can round out their fitness on the weekend if they can't come on the regular schedule. And we just love it. So I just want you guys to know that it's really making an impact.
Cool. That's awesome. Thanks, Aminta.
Thank you.
Yep.
That's very cool. Appreciate it. And welcome.
Yeah, you're also not super far from Cole. So if you ever wanted to go visit him in Washington, you should reach out to him. Just Cole@CompTrain.com. You guys can all email him if you want. You guys should all just send Cole an email. But yeah, absolutely. You should go hang out with him if you're ever up that way, for sure. Okay, couple of final logistics questions, mostly about cold weather running, because for your all's awareness, we will essentially eliminate or just very much limit outdoor running from Thanksgiving. We just kind of picked a holiday to holiday, and it's going to run Thanksgiving to St. Patrick's Day. So there will be limited, very minimal outdoor running from Thanksgiving to St. Patrick's Day. So from kind of that December to March timeline. With that said, if you guys aren't in a space where you're really limited by that, then when you see shuttle runs, run outside. We'll have the conversions available in the lesson plan that says this number of shuttle runs would be equal to just this distance outside and things along those lines. So that, for awareness, you can communicate that to your members as well. Is in the programming, it is very intentionally going to limit outdoor running in that in those months, in that period. The question from Keith, though, Ben, is with the winter coming, knowing that we'll spend more time, how do you kind of deal proactively with machine fatigue from your members, spending a lot of time on machines?
Yeah, I can particularly feel that if you don't have like bikes and rowers, which I think is what most gyms don't have. They don't have both. So you end up being on one or the other a lot. The honest answer is I don't have a good answer for that. It's just kind of it's the nature of the beast. We want to keep people's aerobic engines primed and good. I think everybody knows the feeling of coming out of the February month and having to re-ramp back up the aerobic capacity side of things. Kind of sucks. And that's what we really want to try to avoid. That's why we think it's important. But yeah, we'll try our best to try to mitigate the machine fatigue. One of the ways that we try to do that, as Jameson said, is we do try to keep running in the program. We do it as shuttle runs. We also, at our gym, and I would encourage others to do this, my gym, Jameson's gym, there's probably a couple others that are big gyms. We oftentimes turn it into, instead of like a shuttle run, we'll turn it into like laps in the gym. So you're just running, it's less 30 feet back and forth, and just kind of like it's a different thing. So that little variance can kind of help people as well. But I would try to keep up the running as much as possible. Just make it indoors. Because otherwise you get on machines a lot. And that's not the most engaging thing for us. But principle number 1 is keep the aerobic engine primed. Principle number 2 is run when you can run. Indoor, outdoor, shuttle, or laps.
Cool. Other questions, guys, here at the end. I'd love to see more super light barbell cycling or other monostructural stuff that keeps heart rates high. Speaking specifically during the winter months.
Speaking specifically to like the not being able to run, like we obviously have a very, very small gym. Like even shuttle runs are really hard for us. Like we did some shuttle runs not too long ago because they're of the weather, and like we had to we were doing deadlifts like under the rig, like we don't have any space. So that's just going to make it real. We're going to be on the rower and the bike.
Yeah, I would I'd encourage it to be because even lightweight barbell cycling is from like a physiological standpoint is a very, very, very different thing than a monostructural.
Yep.
My suggestion would be, when possible, substitute jump rope.
Yep. We do a lot of that.
Yeah, sure. That would be my number. That would be my first. If I'm going to go away from it and not to another machine, that would be the first place I would go. So maybe replace your people, and it doesn't need to be double unders when I say jump rope. I don't think it should be double unders, actually. Double unders is, in the beginning, is a more skill acquisition than it is actual engine building. Whereas regular single unders or running rope, where you go like one foot at a time, that mimics running like really well. We also like plate hops a lot. And it doesn't have to be 2 on, 2 off. It could be 1 on, 1 off, yeah, exactly. Really, really good movement. It keeps it cardio. Cardio is the wrong word. Monostructural, I guess is the right word.
Yeah. The other would be, and this will be in programming as well, guys, with like the lateral dumbbell hops as well. Those things are devastating. They're so hard. So yeah, a lot of plate hops, a lot of like lateral hops can be really useful for this time frame, which are things that we will also consider inside of the programming itself.
Or you could just buy 15 air runners, Keith.
A 50-year lease.
Yeah, sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, man. All right, guys. Anything else as we finish up? Cool. Call is recorded, guys. Keep trying to drop you more and more stuff there in the circle group. You guys get your coaches in that group as well. We'll continue to have conversations there. Oh, last thing, I posted this in the circle group, but you guys do get a discount to the store that is just launched. I'm going to drop that here in this chat, and it's also in circle. So if you guys use that link to go to the store, your discount will be already applied, but the discount code itself is just CP Gym. So check that out. We'll obviously continue to add things to that. The objective would be to add things that are actually useful in your gym as well, like banners, posters, some methodology specific stuff as well. So by all means, hop in and check that out, and we'll keep adding stuff to that as well. But speaking of cold weather running, you can get a hoodie and then it's just not a problem. You just wear the hoodie and run outside. So we'll be good to go. So for sure, check that out.
Yay. Get some.
Cool. All right, guys, I will post this once it's processed and uploaded. I'll post this recording so you guys can share it with your team if you need to. And then just reach out if you have any other questions.
Thanks, guys.
Talk to you guys later.